The world is a place of constant negotiation, an arena where people trade for what they want: respect, security, love, and validation. Yet, in this marketplace, there is one currency more valuable than any other: your refusal. The moment you learn to say no is the moment you stop being controlled by others' desires and start shaping your world according to your own terms. Saying no is not an act of cruelty. It is the mark of strength, of control, of a leader who knows when to draw the line. This lesson is not for the faint of heart, but for those who wish to command respect and never compromise on their worth. In a world where weakness is measured by the willingness to please and the inability to set boundaries, saying no becomes your weapon. A ruler does not live for the approval of his subjects. He lives for his own sovereignty. Those who are respected do not beg for favor. They make demands that others must meet. And in that refusal, others learn to yield. You must become the man who controls the narrative by dictating when you say yes and, more importantly, when you say no. This is the true lesson in respect. The need to please others, to constantly say yes, creates dependency. Dependency weakens you. It forces you into a position where your actions are determined by others' expectations, where your value is dictated by how much you can do for others. But when you say no, you signal that your worth cannot be bought. You stand firm in your own power, unshaken by the demands of those around you. This is where many fail. They mistake kindness for strength, thinking that being agreeable will elevate them. They forget that kindness, when overused, is a form of submission. It is not respect that you earn through ceaseless compliance. It is manipulation. By constantly saying yes, you open the door for others to walk over you, to take from you without giving back. Respect, on the other hand, comes from setting boundaries, from making it known that there are limits to what you will accept. Think about the most powerful figures throughout history. Did they become great by saying yes to every request? No. They became powerful because they understood the importance of refusal. The moment you learn to say no, you step into the realm of control. You stop being the servant of others' needs and start becoming the master of your own destiny. You create space for yourself and demand that others respect that space. When you say no, you create a boundary. Boundaries are powerful. They communicate to others that you are not to be controlled. A boundary forces respect. Without it, you become a vessel for others' desires, always bending to their will. But when you refuse, you change the dynamics of the relationship. You are no longer a subject. You are a force. You become a person whose presence demands attention and whose words are not taken lightly. Think about how power works. The person who has the ability to say no is the person who has control over the situation. Imagine a leader in a room full of advisors and followers. When the leader says no, the room falls silent. The others may plead, they may try to convince him, but the leader knows that his refusal is what establishes his authority. In that refusal lies his power. Without it, he becomes just another voice in the crowd. To say no is to put yourself above the demands of the world. It is an act of defiance that marks you as someone who cannot be easily manipulated. It signals that you will not bow to pressure, that you will not compromise your values. This is what builds respect. Not through submission, but through standing your ground. The more you can refuse, the more you shape your own path and the more others will be forced to respect that path. Saying no is not just about rejecting others' demands. It is about mastering the art of detachment. Detachment is not indifference. It is the strategic withdrawal from unnecessary emotional investment. The less you react to external pressures, the more control you gain. When you say no, you are not merely refusing a request. You are asserting your control over your emotions and your life. You are removing yourself from the need for validation and the trap of dependency. This is the real strength of saying no. It is not about being cold or heartless. It is about being in command of yourself, so that no one can use your emotions against you. By mastering detachment, you turn the act of refusal into a shield that protects you from manipulation and control. When you stop reacting, you stop giving away your power. People will no longer be able to predict your actions, because you will have taken control of your emotions. They will see you as a person who is unmoved by the chaos around you. Your refusal to be swayed becomes your greatest strength. You become the one who governs his own emotions, who dictates the terms of every interaction. The world will try to pull you in many directions. It will demand your attention, your time, and your resources. But the true test of power lies in your ability to say no. Saying no is not a rejection of the world. It is a declaration that you are in control. You decide what you give, and you decide when you give it. This is the foundation of respect. When you say no, you build your authority. You define your limits. You create a world where others must meet your standards, not the other way around. By refusing to be manipulated, you become untouchable. The power of saying no lies in its ability to put you in the driver's seat of your own life. Remember, the person who says no is the one who is respected. The person who constantly says yes is the one who fades into the background, a shadow of what they could be. So say no, and let the world adjust to you. Because the one who can say no is the one who truly holds the power.